Welcome back to Yerushalmi Bikkurim. We are holding Daf Gimel Amud Aleph. Now, we're continuing to discuss the Mishnah. Now, a Gazlan can't bring Bikkurim, a thief can't bring Bikkurim, and according to Yerushalmi, stolen land can be acquired by a Gazlan if the owner gives up hope. Now, Yerushalmi holds in a few places that, according to some Rishonim, that although land can't be stolen, nevertheless, Yush helps to give it over to the Gazlan, and he owes money to the victim. Okay? Some say even the Bavli agrees with that. Okay, so Yerushalmi's view, according to what we're saying, is that Yush does help, that the owner can give up hope on land. So until now we understand you don't bring Bikurim from land which is stolen, Big Zela, when the owner's not given up hope. The land doesn't belong to the Gazlan. There's no ad masacha, but does it mean the Torah is afilu b'gzeila is yashu abale b'mena, even if the owner has given up hope? Maybe you still say the Gazlan can't bring Bikurim, or maybe now the land belongs to the Gazlan, it's included in Yush Balin, and the Gazlan maybe can bring Bikurim. So the Bnei Yeshiva wanted to say Nishri Namin Hada. We can learn from the following. Otherwise, now the Mishnah said Sikrikun, actually it's later on, it's in Perek Beis. Sikrikun of a Gazlan, and these people are able to be Truma of a Maser. They have certain dinim with Truma and Maser, as opposed Masha Eiken B'Bikurim. So one who steals land, the fruit is Chayiv Truma and Maser, but he doesn't bring Bikurim. Now, how are we going to learn from this Mishnah what we understand, the answer to our question? So first let's talk about the din of the Mishnah there. So the Mishnah says you got land which is stolen, but Truma still applies. The Gazlan can separate Truma. Klum tzricha la b'gezela sheniz yashu abale mimena. Now surely the Mishnah's din that the Gazlan can separate Truma, but not Bikurim, must be a case where the owner has given up from the theft. Avo. B'gezela sheniz yashu abale mimena. Maybe with Gzela, where the owner still thinks it's his land and he's not given up hope, I feel with Truma le'asa klum. Maybe Truma won't work. The Gazlan separates Truma before the owner's given up hope is not got Hashem Truma. K'hadad Zatani, like we've learned in the Bryce in Truma. So Aines, V'hagana V'hagazlan, these various thieves, Bizman Shabalim Radvin Achrein, if the owner is running after them, they stole something, the owner is running after them, we want it back, they're obviously not Miyash. And if the Gazlan separate Truma and Maisa from the fruit which is stolen, or makes it Hekdesh, ain't Truma, so Truma. The Truma is not valid. Lo Masechet and Masa doesn't help. Like Dish and Hekdesh doesn't help. If the owner is not running after him and has given up hope, Truma and Truma, then it's valid Truma, Masechet and Masa. Hekdesh and Hekdesh is Hekdesh. So what do you see? He can't be mafish Truma before the owner has given up hope. So when the Mishnah says he can separate Truma and Masa, it must be the owner has given up hope. And the Mishnah says he cannot separate Bikurim. So you see, a Gazlan can't bring Bikurim, even if the owner has given up hope, he can't bring Bikurim. Rabbi Yossi, B'Shem, Rabbi Yochanan, he says, now, that which the Brisa says, if he's not given up hope from Gazela, Trumasan doesn't help. The truth is, Lo Zeh Torah v'Lo Zeh Torah. So the thief can't really separate Truma, but the owner also can't separate Truma. The thief can't, because the fruit are not his. The owner can't, because it's not in his domain. Right? It's been stolen. If the owner takes Truma, it still doesn't help. He can't take. Now, back to the original question. Do you bring Bikurim from land which is stolen, but the owner's given up hope? So we explained that a Gazlan has to take Truma and Maser, but not Bikurim. And we're saying the owner's given up hope. So we wanted to prove that even after Yush, you can't bring Bikurim. Now we're going to explain the Mishnah slightly differently, and prove we're going to push it away. No, we could still say that the owner is not given up hope. So how are you going to understand it? How are we going to explain that the Mishnah is talking about before Yush? And what are we talking about? Where the thieves, no give a Truma Maser, they have Truma Maser, Masha Eiken B'Bikurim. So how are we going to learn that Truma Maser applies not Bikurim if it's before Yush? We've said before Yush, then Truma Maser, the Gazlan can't be mafresh. So the answer is he can't be mafresh even Truma Maser before Yush. Now, why does the Mishnah therefore make a distinction between Truma Maser and Bikurim? He says, "Efshel a peres lat says." but like Bikurim. He says, you know something? You can have fruit which is permitted to eat without Bikurim. You can eat fruit without separating Bikurim. But Efshel appears Lazis B'Laim Master Truma Maestris. You can't eat Truma. You can't eat fruit when it's Tevel, when Truma's not been taken, because the fruit that's not mufresh for Trumas and Maestris is Tevel. You can't eat it. So the Mishnah is saying like this: with a Gazlan is Truma Masa as opposed to Bikurim. That means the fruit that he has is Tovel for Truma Masa. It means it's Tevel as far as Truma Masa. No, he can do anything about it. He can't do anything about it, right? But it's not Tevel as far as Bikurim, because Bikurim doesn't stop you eating it. Now, since we can explain the Mishnah is talking about a case where the owner has not given up hope, you can't prove if a Gazlan can be mafresh Bikurim after the owner has given up hope. And the Gemara concludes, and when the owner has given up hope, there's still a question if the Gazlan, if the thief brings Bikurim or not. We still have the question. Okay? You don't bring Bikurim chutz mishur saminin, except from fruit. Only from the Shiva Saminin you bring, which Eretz Yisrael is praised for. Wheat, barley, vine, figs, pomegranates, olives, and dates. And even the Shiva Saminin is going to be good quality. So we bring various examples. Don't bring Bikurim from the dates in the mountains. Or the fruits in the lower valleys. Or the olive oil, which is not good quality. Okay, some say there's like small amount. There's they say kevesh, which have a bit of oil, and they pickle them in vinegar for eating. And the best type is they say shemen, olives for oil. Right? And even then there's different types, good and choice ones. And the choice ones are called aguri, as we're going to see about that. Okay. And now what about, we said wheat, barley. We didn't mention the other types, rye, spelt. So are they, of course, there's a price in Bavli, in Psachim, where they are called types of wheat or types of barley. That the others are subsidiaries, tributaries, as it were, of wheat and barley. Yeah? Like Truma Min Amino, what's called the same min, and for adding for a share of challah, and you can fulfill your duty on Pesach. The Mephoshim argue if you can bring these things Bikurim, is it like they're just like wheat and barley, or maybe they're not really considered choice or not. Okay. Ein Mevin Bikurim Kaidem Latzeret. You don't bring it before Shavuos. Anshe Hatzavayim, the men of Hatzavayim in Eretz Yisrael, Hevios Bikurim Kaidem Latzeret. They brought it before Shavuos, but like him Lohen, it was not accepted. They didn't allow them at that point. Because the Torah says about the 2 loaves brought on Shavuos for Chagakos in Bikurim Ma'asachos and Israel Mazada. That is the first thing that goes on. The 2 loaves are Bikurim, so that has to be before everything else. Ein Mevin Bikurim. You don't bring Bikurim only from the Shiva Saminin, right? It says you'll take from the beginnings of your fruit. Maybe it said Lakachta Reishis, and then without the mem. He's about to say Kolan's all grow, or anything that grows, your Chayav Bikurim has to bring Bikurim. Talmud Lo says Mereishis, Loikos, not everything. But then in Mereishis, Loikos Reishis, if not everything, Ein Lachayla Chitzin Sarabavad, maybe wheat and barley. Talmud Lo, so it says Kol Periyadama. Right, Riba, we include all the Shivas Aminin, be Riba Zakol. Well, why not include more things, not just Shivas Aminin? It says no. Nemakan, it says Bikurim Arzacha, your land. But Nemakan, it says Eretz Chitzah Sa'ira, Ma Eretz Shenema Lahalam. Just like the Eretz in the praise of Eretz Yisrael, Shivas Aminin Kosmet. I'm talking about Shivas Aminin, Afer, Shenemakan, the Shivas Aminin Kosmet Afer. It's talking about the Shivas Aminin. Yep. Okay. Fine. The Bavli also learns this from Zer Shava. Now, Bikurim only applies to Shivas Aminin because Eretz. So what are we excluding from the Mem in Mereshis? Some say you don't need to bring Bikurim or only on the you don't have to bring all the first fruits of Shivas Aminin. You can bring one cluster or something. Yeah? Okay. Some say there's 2 droshes. From the Mem, we learn a miot. Zer Shava, we learn that the miot is that you bring from Shivas Aminin. Okay. The Zeis Shaman, which says in the Pasuk Shivas Aminin, is the Aguri, it's the Aguri olive. Rav Ami b'shem Rabbi Yochanan, Zer Avrisi. It's a place where they have good olives. Why is it called? It keeps its oil within. It keeps its oil, as we shall see. Do you think all the other olives ruin their oil? The rain falls on them, they give out their oil. But this one, even if the rain falls on it, it maintains its oil. Yeah, it guards its oil within. Rashi learns, the oil is sort of piled up inside it. It doesn't get absorbed in the olive like a juice in apples, for example. It's ready to come out. Okay. Udvash, which of course is dates. Yeah. This is the date honey. Yachal, you think Devash Mamish. Maybe it's the honey of bees. Rav Tanchum of Rav Lazik says when Chizkiah Melech Hanavi, Chizkiah Melech's takana was strengthened to bring Trumas and Maestros to the Beis Mikdash. They brought all the Truma and all the grain and the Maaseh they brought. And it says they brought Devash. Now, Devash, Chayba Maestros, now honey of bees is not obligated in Maestros. There's only things that grow in the ground. And Elo tomorrow refers to dates, Shein Chayavim and Maestros, that they are obligated in Maestros. So Devash here is dates. So also the Pasuk Yerushalmi, Devash is reference to dates. Now, the Pasuk talks about Yerushalmi, right? Eretz Chita Soira, Gefen Teina Ruben, Eretz Shemen Udvash. Rebrechia, B'Shem Rishma Banachman. Lava Ksev Eretz Eretz Shnei Pavim. Why is it mentioned twice? L'diach Hashem V'Yisayim Ela Shnei Devarim Halalu. That the main parnassa in the house is based on these two things. The two things next to bread are wheat, where you make bread, and olives, where you make oil. Right? Oil for food, oil for fuel. So the Torah mentions the word eretz before these two phrases, because they are the main staple of the shvach of Eretz Yisrael. V'lama, not like Bavli, of course, says right, the order, right? The order of what's next to eretz, first eretz, and second eretz, to tell you which order of the Shivas Aminim. V'lama nechlalu. Why are the five? Well, we're going to refer to this. Why are the other five barley vines? They're included with wheat and olives. We said wheat and olives are the main one. So why does the Torah mention the others with them? So he says, Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Shmuel Nachman Chad Amar, one said libracha, which I referred to, that all the minyan you make a bracha, which is men shalosh. V'chana Amar, one said l'shiurin. To tell you various shiurim from the Torah. Each one of the fruit, we have a various type of shiur which is learned from it. Like Nazir, remember? Revius yain, grapes, is a revius of wine for a Nazir. You have that in Babli? Figs, the shiur food you're chayav for carrying on Shabbos. Yeah? Okay. Now, man dama lebracha, nicha. The one who says you mentioned Yerushalmi to make a bracha, I understand. Man dama shiurin, v'artanina, we've learned by Heres, the types of tzaras, which are mutabe tzaras bigris, which is a type of bean, and that's not one of the shiurim here, and it's a Torah din. We don't mention beans amongst the beans of Eretz Yisrael. Less even hope. The bean is not from this type. It's not good. It doesn't grow in Eretz Yisrael. It comes from elsewhere, and the Torah only mentions the fruit that Eretz Yisrael is praised. What about kadoshim and asheretz? Again, a lentil of sheret size, tumas shrotzim, the size of a lentil, and therefore that's a very important measure. And again, it's not referred to. Less even hope. Again, it's not this min because it's that's talking about an Egyptian one. It doesn't grow in Eretz Yisrael. Now back to the Mishnah's din that you bring Bikkurim from Shivas Aminim. You don't bring Bikkurim from dates in the mountains and fruit in the valleys. So one thing is clear, that if Hifrish Bikkurim chutz Shivas Aminim, if you separated Bikkurim from anything else, like Hacho, it's not got Kedushas Bikurim. Ma'apeligin, where they're arguing, but Smarim Shabaharim, or Peres Shabamokim. So the dates in the mountains. Ivan, do you want to get the door? So, thank you. Wait a second. So Ma'apeligin. So Ma Peligin. So what are they arguing about? I'll be back in a second. So Ma Peligin, what are they arguing about? B'tzmarim shebaharim, the dates in the mountains, the Vaperos shebamokim, and the fruit in the other lower areas. If you separated Bikurim. Rav Zira, Rabbi Yasser Shem Elazar, they said like it should, it doesn't work. Rabbi Elam Shem Rav Ami, he said it's bad good. Rabbi Yachim Shlokish Machleges. Rabbi Yachim Amar like it, he said it doesn't work. Shlokish Amar Kidshu, he says it does work. So if you take these bad quality dates and you separate it from Bikurim, does it work? Is an argument.
Again, you're saying the bad quality, but that means he has others. Could be the
I don't know what he has. It may be all he has.
It could be, this is his best quality.
But it could be there's no din to bring this sort of stuff. Obviously, if he has better, he should be bringing better. The reason for a shlokish, who say it doesn't work, it's not holy, you've got to bring mina muvcha. Rashis, and he holds, but the ebed is not holy. So let's see. Look, if you take truma bad for good, it's valid. So Bikurim, it should work. Just like we find with Trumas and Maestras, you shouldn't take the bad fruit for the good, but if you did, it's valid. Same with Bikurim. Right? Rabbi Yossi said, how can you compare Bikurim with Truma? Shemana, we've heard Pes Arayim Chayavim b'Maestras. We know the din, yes, bad fruit, you have to separate Maestr. So B'diavad, he took Truma bad for good, is valid. But Shemana Pes Arayim Chayavim b'Bikurim, have we ever heard that these mountain fruit, these bad quality mountain fruit, need Bikurim? They don't. So therefore, if you went and separated Bikurim, it doesn't work. It doesn't have a Shem Bikurim. Right? They're not Chai Bikurim. If you only have a field of bad stuff, you'll bring Bikurim, he says. You'll bring Bikurim. But if you've got bad and choice, of course you should better bring the best one. Brought in the Bavli as well. There might be the bad ones are part from Bikurim, but the ever doesn't help. But Shlokish doesn't hold that limud. He says even bad ones are Chai Bikurim. Okay. And he said, yes, you can compare Bikurim to Truma, that Hafrosha from bad stuff, even if you have good, might work with the ever. Okay. Masnisa, Messiah, Rabbi Yossi. Now Rabbi Yossi pushed away the explanation of Rabbi Yonah, and he holds, like Rabbi Yochanan, that Bikurim from bad fruit doesn't help. So bring a Bryce to support this. You don't bring Bikurim from the fruit that grows in Siparim, the fruit that grows in Beit Sha'an, because it's bad quality. If heavy like it, you brought it doesn't work. So you see bad fruit, but the Evet doesn't have a name of Bikurim. Rav Zira said, well, tonight, Tamar, we've learnt in that Bryce that Ta'enim Soichais, now these are figs which have thorns, so they've got holes. Arnavin Me'ubakos Moshanis. These are grapes that grow on a vine where there's dust or smoke underneath. You smoked out the place to kill all the worms. Don't bring that for Bikurim because they're bad quality. You can bring the type from the figs which have a nice sheva. So the grapes from this place or these other types of figs you're allowed to bring. The Medrash says B'nai Sheva is the Ta'ena that Ocean ate. And it caused death, which was Shiva Yemei Avelus. Okay. Now, these B'nai Sheva, these grapes, Minamuvchaim, B'tema Aval, they're good. And you're saying Aval? We said Aval, but you can bring from it, but they're good. Yeah, they're good quality. Why is the Bryce saying Aval, but you can bring Bikurim? Sounds like there's a Chiddush here. So the truth is there is a Chiddush. The truth is there is a Chiddush. They're like the last fruit to ripen in the summer. Therefore, Loyovi, maybe you shouldn't bring. So we say, therefore the Bryce says, no, you can bring. Tanu learned to the Bryce. You bring dates from Yerichai for Bikurim. And also, even if you're bringing Yerichai ain't Kohen, you don't read the Pasha Ela Lakesavais, the dates that grow in there. Rav Shimon Lazar says, Rimone Amokim, the pomegranates of Amokim Mavin, you can bring from Bikurim, for Kohen, I can read the Pasha as well. Yeah, even the Rimone Amokim, the pomegranates from the lower areas are kosher for Bikurim. And definitely the ones in the mountains which are kosher for Bikurim. Okay? Our Mishnah puzzled all things from Amokim, from the lower areas, apart from dates. He holds, no, the pomegranates are excluded, and they are okay, they are kosher. Halacha Dalet, yeah? Right, now, we learned who doesn't bring Bikurim. Now we're going to discuss who doesn't bring, they can bring Bikurim, but they can't read the Pasha. Elam Avin, the following can bring Bikurim, but like they don't read the Pasha. Hager, maybe, he can bring Bikurim, but not read the Pasha. Because he can't say, I've come to the land which Hashem, our father, swore to give to our fathers, to give to us. His fathers were not Israeli. If his mother was Israelis, maybe he can bring Bikurim, the Koreh, and he can read the Pasha. Okay, so he can't say the Pasha Bikurim. There are words. Now, what about words in the beginning of Shemon Esrei, where he can't say them? Because Hashem is Spalel. And when he prays, the Amida, quietly, then instead of saying Elokeinu, he should say Elokei Avos Yisrael. Like Kashuv Beis HaKnesses, when he's a chazan in shul, he should say Elokei Avos Seichem, the God of your fathers. No, we don't pass that. If his mother is Israeli, he says Elokei Avos Seichem, whether he prayed quietly or whether he's a chazan. Okay, yeah, we don't pass like this.
If his mother is Yisrael, then why is he a ger?
We will discuss what degree or what stage. The truth is, he's from the others, so as you can say, like Calvin said, and we'll discuss it. So he said the following: bring Bikurim, but they don't read the Pasha. Right, the guy can't say that you swore to give to my fathers. Now later on, we've learned a woman can bring Bikurim, but she can't read the Pasha. She can't say, the land you gave me, because the women didn't get a share in the land. Now, how does that fit in with our Mishnah? Gerim also did not get a share in the land. So why does the Mishnah therefore not exclude Gerim from the same pasuk? It excludes women. So Rabbi Yonah Rav Yasa explained the Mishnah. Rabbi Yonah Rav Yasa, Tefren B'Shem Rishma Bar Rav Yitzchok. The Gerim we're talking about, we're talking about Gerim who are descendants of Yisrael, not other Gerim. So why it says you can't read because you can't say Shanishba Hashem Rabbeinu, it doesn't say no, sure. It doesn't say the pasuk, the land you gave us. We don't say that's the problem. Because his fathers didn't get a chelek in Yisrael, because Cain, Chos and Moshe, they did get a chelek in Yisrael. You follow? Yisrael did get a share. Therefore, the only reason why you can't read Bikurim is because you can't say Hashem. You can't say Hashem Nishma Hashem Lavoseinu. You follow it? You can't say that. And our Mishnah therefore adds on that if his mother was Yisrael, then he can read, because then there's nothing wrong. We learned in the Brisa, the Gerim of Yisrael can read the Pasha. But they can bring Bikurim and read the Pasha. The Chazir said, L'chai, Tanu come with us, V'Tamlach will be good for you. So based on our Mishnah to Sefta, Gerim who are come from Yisrael and whose mothers are from Israel, they are the ones who can bring and they can read. Now, David Girsa, what was Rosh Bar Yitzchok? When Rechizkiah of Rabbi Lazar, he said, Rosh Bar Yitzchok, Lo Yamakein. He didn't say we're talking about Yisrael here. He never said that that to answer any question in our Mishnah. He never said that. Ella, why did he say it? Because there's a problem in another Mishnah. And this is a Mishnah later on. Now a manager who's looking after the orphan's estate, and an agent, the owner of the field appointed him to bring the Bikurim, Isha, a woman who's got Bikurim from her field, the sons of Androgenes, all these Mevin, they bring Bikurim, but like they don't read the Pasha because they cannot say, I brought the fruits which you gave me, Hashem, right? That you didn't give me, right? Now, a ger, now a ger is included in the parsha of Bikkurim. It says, a ger Hashem b'kibacha. So the Torah clearly says a ger can bring Bikkurim and read the parsha. Even though they can't say, Asher nasata li, that you gave me. Gerim never got a chelik in the land. So why does the Mishnah say that those who we've included can't read the parsha of Bikkurim because of Asher nasata li Hashem? What's the difference between Gerim who can say it? So to answer this, Yitzchok, he says, we're talking about Tifta Ger the Hacha. We're talking about the Ger in the Torah, which is reading Parshat Bikkurim. It's only B'nei Keli Chosed Moshe. It's Yisro's descendants. B'nei Keli Chosed Moshe B'nei Bikkurim. They can bring Bikkurim, read the Parsha. They can say Hashem Nasata Li Hashem because they did receive a share in the land. Yeah. Rav Yossi. Rav Yossi says, Chaim Binyamin Ba'ashta. We could say, he explained it with a pshat of Binyamin Ba'ashta. Now, Binyamin Ba'ashta, he was B'nei Gerim. He came from Gerim. Let's see. So, Chaim, he sort of explained it. Binyamin Ba'ashta, Kumei Ruchir Barba. I explained the Mishnah like this. B'gai Shabbat Ba'avera, Bas Yisrael Masisa. Our Mishnah that says, a ger whose mother is Israel can read B'cha Parsha, was talking about a ger who's born from a bias isur of a guy and a Jewish mother. You hear that? His father was a guy, his mother was Jewish. And the Mishnah is telling you, even though his father's a guy, but since his mother's Jewish, he can say, Asher nishma Hashem lavasenu, you gave us the land. However, someone who was born to a father who's a ger can read the Parsha Bikkurim even if his mother is also Giyores. You hear that? So both his parents are Gerim. He can read the Parsha. The reason is, a ger is considered Yisrael L'chol Davar. He's included in the Shvua of Hashem to the Avos. Therefore, the son can say Hashem Nishma Hashem Lavasenu. And he's talking about, even though his intention is his father, the ger. Now, another Lashon, what was said from the words of Binyamin Ba'ashta, Rav Yonah Lo Amakein. He didn't say what we just said. The explanation of Binyamin Ba'ashta is about the father was a guy or whatever it is. He says, no. Ella, he says the din is another din of the Mishnah. He was hearing about these families of Ba'ashta. The Inun Gerim, B'nei Gerim, their descendants are Gerim. Oimrim, and they say the God of our fathers. And he asked them, we said, you can only say it if the mother was Israelis, you can say Gerim, B'nei Gerim. But if you got no yichus, no Jewish yichus, Gerim, son of Gerim, lie. You shouldn't say Elokei Avosenu. So how can we say Elokei Avosenu? Rav Yossi says, Kaima, Binyamin Ba'ashta, Kumei Ruchir Baraba. He explained it in front of Ruchir Baraba. He talks about a case, as we'll see. And Ruchizkim Shem Ruchir Baraba. Kaima, he says, Ba'ashta Kavinad. He said, we were explaining it in front of Ba'ashta. Kubagai, Shabbat Ba'avera, Bas Yisrael, he must Isa. Is what guy was doing the Bas Yisrael Ba'avera. Right, the ger whose mother Israel, who says that the ger Vasenu is a ger born from a bias isur of a guy with a bas Israel. But the son of the ger is able to say the ger Vasenu, even though his mother's a geres, because the ger is considered Israel in every aspect. Even for this, that the son can say the ger Vasenu. Okay, now the Gemara takes on against the idea of Binyamin Ba'ashta that the son of ger and geres can read the Parsha Bikkurim and say the ger Vasenu. Avosenu means his father the ger. Rav Zrika Nama, he said, Rav Zira boy, he said, when a person says Hashem Ishma Hashem Lavasenu in Bikkurim, which says Alakeh Avosenu in davening, Klumi is Gamed Avram Yisrael Yaakov. Surely his intention is for Avram Yisrael Yaakov, and therefore Avram Yisrael Yaakov Avosem Hayu, were they the fathers of these Gerim? That they can say Avosenu? They weren't. So how can someone whose parents are Gerim say in Shvan Esra Alakeh Avosenu? Right? With Bikkurim, Hashem Nishma Hashem Lavasenu, how can he say it? So the Gemara does not answer the question. Right? Okay. Although you could say Avram was Harav Mein Gaim, he's considered the father, but we're seeing to saying he's not. Now the Gemara asks, based on Binyamin Ba'ashta, the end of the Mishnah, that if his mother's Yisrael, he can read the Parsha. He says, Klum Nishma Kadosh Baruch Hu, surely Hashem made an oath, only to the males, they should get a portion in the land. Shamal Adekeva, you think to the women he made a shvua? He didn't. The women didn't get a chelik in the land. So how can it be that his mother Yisrael, he can say Asher Nishma Hashem Lavaseda because of his mother, when his mother has no share in the land? Very good question. We have no answer. Right? The Gemara doesn't accept the din of our Mishnah that a ger whose mother is Yisrael brings and reads Bikurim and reads the Parsha. Rabbeinu Tamim of Basra, Dov Pei Aleph, you around there at the moment? He says Tosefta argues on the din of our Mishnah and holds a ger from Bnei Keli, which is Yisrael, and a mother of Yisrael can bring and read. Rosh brings a raya to his words from the Gemara's question over here. The Rash takes on, and the din stays the same. We didn't bother answering the question. The truth is it's not difficult at all. He didn't say how you'd answer it. The Achronim say the answer is the shvur was only to his mother Yisraelis, but she had her father. She heard it from her father, and Avi Imo from the grandfather. He can say Asher Nishma Hashem Lavasenu. He's referring to his grandparents, basically. Okay. Tani Meshem Rabbi Yehuda. We learn the name Rabbi Yehuda. Ger Atzmai, who's got no yichus from Israel, even Ger himself, maybe the Cohen can bring the Pasha, bring and read. Ma'atam, what's the source for this? Ki Avamai, as we said, Ki Avamai Goyim B'Satzich. You see that Avraham is considered the father of everyone. Right? Yesha'ava, you see Avraham in the beginning, I was father to Aram. After become now he's the father for everyone. Right? Now he's called Avraham Goyim. So someone who became a ger, he's considered like the son of Avraham Avinu. So any ger can say the words Shenishma Hashem Lavasenu. Rishon Levi Amar Lach Rabbi Yehuda. So Lach Rabbi Yehuda also to come in Ravo. Story came before Ravo. V'Hare Rabbi Yehuda passed like Rabbi Yehuda that a ger can say like Lavasenu even in Shon Esra, because Avraham is the father of all the gerim. Okay, good. Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov Omer. Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov says, "Isha bas gerim lo tinaseh lekahuna." So, even if she is bas gerim, so her parents are gerim, she should not marry kahuna until tehei imam Yisrael, until her mother is from Yisrael. Echad gerim, echad avodim b'shulcharin. Whether it's a ger or eved, freed eved, the din is the same. Eved meshuchra, that their daughters are asked to marry to kahuna. Afilu ad asar doros, even 10 generations from an eved meshuchra from a ger. The bus has got a din of Gioris. And she's asked to marry a Cohen until her mother is from Israel. Now, back to the main question: which ones bring and don't read? Apotropin, we said the manager, Eved, and a servant, Eved Kanani, who's been sent to bring the Bikurim. Shaliach is appointed to bring the Bikurim to Beis Mikdash. Isha, a woman's got Bikurim from her own field. The Tuns of Androgynes. Mevin, all these bring Bikurim, but like her, they don't read the Parsha because they can't say, I brought the fruit Hashem Asata Li Hashem for what you've given me. Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov, he says a woman who's bas gerim shouldn't marry kahuna until her mother is Yisrael. Now the words from Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov are brought in our Mishnah of Derech Hagav. The main place is in Kiddushin, and there's actually an argument between three Tanaim. Right? The Gemara brings the first opinion in the argument, and after that we'll explain the other various opinions. So first of all the days of the Mishnah which we're going to bring hold that a chalal who marries a bas Yisrael, the daughter is a chalala, and she can't marry kahuna. But Yisrael who marries a chalala, his daughter is not a chalala like her, she is kashera lekahuna. So the Tanaim argue, what about a ger who marries a bas Yisrael, who marries a gereth? Taman Tanina, we've learned in Kiddushin, bas ger zachar. So you have a daughter of a ger, and even from a Jewish mother, she's like bas chalal zachar. Just like a chalal who marries a kashera, the daughter's a chalala, can't marry kahuna. So ger who marries a bas Yisrael, the daughter of Gieres, also to kahuna. Now Yisrael who marries a Gieres is din of Yisrael, who marries a chalala. His daughter is possible to kahuna. Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov, he says Yisrael should ask a Gieres, if the daughter marries Gieres, Yisrael marries a Gieres, B'tzei kashera lekahuna. His kosher to marry kahuna. But ger shenasa is Yisrael, and the ger who marries the bas Yisrael, b'tzei kashera lekahuna. This kosher kahuna. But ger shenasa geres, but ger marries geres, b'tzei psula is possible for kahuna. Rabbi Yosef, he says, ger shenasa geres, b'tzei kashera lekahuna. He says no, ger geres, the child is kosher lekahuna. But now all the Tanaim were arguing, they learned from one place. Now it says with the Kohenim, in the Pasuk in Yecheskel, the Nashim, they shouldn't take women, widows or divorcees. They should marry Basula. And the Tanaim argue what this means. What does it mean with Zera Beis Yisrael? Right? Rabbi Yehuda said, you can't marry, the Cohen can't marry Bas Gerim Ajtei Avia B'Yisrael. The father has to be Israel. Right? He learns Mizera Beis Yisrael. The main Zera has to be born from Israel. Rabbi Lesmin Yaakov, he says no. A Cohen can't marry a Bas Gerim Ajtei Avia Imam Israel. Either of them, either of the parents. He learns Mizera Beis Yisrael, even b'mixas a bit of Zera Yisrael is good enough. Okay. Rabbi Yossi said, a Kohen can't marry women until leads a Yivolda b'Kedushas Yisrael. That the later the conception and the birth should be after the parents have become Jewish. Okay. He learns Mizera Beis Yisrael, Mizra, like even the fertilization should be Jewish. The Gemara brings a fourth opinion. Rav Shimon, he was a Gieres, is kosher l'kohana, providing she became a Gieres when she was less than 3 years old. The Gemara's going to explain how Rav Shimon learns the words Mizera Beis Yisrael. Rav Shimon over, so he says that a Kohen can't marry these women, as you build Basulim with Kedushas Yisrael. That they're going to be the Basula with Kedushas Yisrael. He learns Mizera Beis Yisrael, that the Basulim, the skins, etc. Right, when she's already Israelis, and she became a ger when she was less than 3 years old. Now the Gemara brings a brisa, which is according to the view of Rav Shimon, which we mentioned above. Tali Rav Shimon, she was less than 3, but his gaira, she became a geres. Gesher lekuna, she can marry to kuna. Shenema, it says, and all the children that you captured in Midian, who were not too familiar with people, you can let them live. And all those that were less than 3 years old, they were okay, they weren't killed, and they could marry them after they became Jewish. But Pinchas, who was a Cohen, Iman, he was with them when they went to war. So you see a woman who became a Gieres, she was less than 3, she is Keshera L'Kehuna. Now what we're going to say on this Raya, the other Tanaim who argued with Shimon, they hold every Gieres is also to Kehuna. But Rabbanan, the Chachamim, how will they explain the pasuk? They say Hachiyu Lachem means La'avodim. You should keep these women as servants, and also Lishvachos for maid servants. Rabbi Yasser Hashem Rabbi Yechanan, he says Allah Rabbi Yossi, who holds that even a ger marries a geres, the child is kosher for kahuna. The Kohenim no silsul be'atzman, but the Kohenim kept a higher level, right? Like the view of Lesbian Yaakov, that a Kohen should not marry a Bas Gerim until the father or the mother should be from Yisrael. Okay. Chad Cohen, there was a Kohen who, how are we doing? We'll stop here, boys. Okay.